Hello, 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 Facebook. It's Tai Goodwin, and I am back, like I said I would, with day 2 in this quick series that I'm doing, all about figuring out how you can start attracting higher paying clients. That's one of the things we've been talking about. And today, I've promised I would be back with talking about how do you pre-qualify and disqualify people. For you coaches and consultants and service-based entrepreneurs out there, are you sick and tired and just so frustrated with getting a whole bunch of tire kickers, like people who sound like they might really, really be good, and then when you get them on the phone, it just doesn't pan out, and it's a huge waste of time and a huge point of frustration. And I know a lot of people that have experienced that. They have made a flat out decision that they're just not going to do any more free consultations, no more discovery calls. I'm not going to do that anymore. And that can work for some industries. But if you're like me, if you're a coach and a consultant, and what you really want to do is that you want to really get to know the people and you want to connect with them, you have to have a way to pick up the phone and talk with them, or to have a conversation with them before anybody signs on a dotted line, especially if you're selling higher price programs. If you're selling low ticket programs, of course, it could be a waste of time for you to get on a call if you're selling something that's, under $200 or under $400. But if you're selling higher ticket programs, that means high touch. That means lots of value. That means that these are people that are going to be investing. And not only that, but you're going to be investing in them. You want to have a way to get in touch, and you want to have a way to have a conversation with these people and make it worth your while. So that's what we're talking about today. How do you pre-qualify or disqualify people so that you're not wasting your time on those calls? So for those of you who don't know, I am Tai Goodwin, the CEO of Profit Momentum and the founder of Profit Academy. And it's my job to help my clients figure out how to profit more and work less. And so if you're watching this, go ahead and give me a shout out, say hello, thumbs up, smiley face, gift, whatever you want to do to let me know that you're here. And I love it when you say hello, and I love it even more when you share this. So tell somebody about this video, share it with your network, get the word out. You have that friend who is experiencing this exact same thing in their business. That's who you want to share this with. So back to the main topic at hand. Are you sick and tired of tire kickers, right? People who waste your time on those calls? And what I want to share with you today is something that you can try. So are you ready? Are you interested? Now remember, if you were here yesterday, you want to get something to write with. You're going to want to take notes. And yes, I know it's Facebook Live, so you can replay it as often as you like. But listen, I know sometimes you don't have time for that. So if you're here, if you're listening, I'm giving you fair warning. You're going to want to write some of this down. Okay? So that was my fair warning. All right, so let's do this. Okay. So here's how you can pre-qualify and disqualify, folks. Oh, one more thing. I forgot to tell you this. So if you're not quite sure, why we're kind of starting in the middle, make sure you go to the page Black Women Making Bank, and you can actually see the video that we did yesterday where we were talking about the precursor to all this, were the 5 types of people that you want to avoid getting on a sales call with you because they're just not going to buy. So that was yesterday's video. And today, like I said, we're back talking about, now that you know the type of people to look out for, we are talking about how do you actually qualify or disqualify people. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. So I've got a couple of ways. The first thing is this, that you've got to choose your words very carefully. Hey, Selena, how are you? You've got to choose your words very, very carefully. That's so important. Now, some of you know this whole thing about branding, and yeah, that's very important too. But the words, your content, who you're targeting, who you're speaking to. If you're one of those people that you think that you can just market to everybody because everybody uses your services, I'm here to tell you right now that doesn't work. And if that's what you think, you are entitled to your precious opinion, but you might want to stop watching this because that's not what I subscribe to. It is really, really hard to talk to everybody. Unless you've got the marketing budget to market to everybody, you want to focus on your peeps, or as I like to call them, your VIPs, your very interested prospects. Right? And if you're not sure who they are, like your target audience, your very interested prospects, you definitely want to stay, because I'm going to tell you more about the Fast Track to 5-Figure program where we help you figure out some of that stuff so you're not wandering around in the dark, marketing to anybody and everybody, and then being really sad because you don't really have people who are listening to you. That's right, Lakeisha. When you market to everyone, no one is listening. Absolutely. So, your words are important. Are you using the right words to capture your audience's attention? Or are you using lingo that is only known by your industry or niche? Or are you so out of touch that the words that you're sharing don't have any value to people? I learned this lesson a long time ago. I was trying to partner with somebody doing a joint venture. And he was asking me, well, who's your audience and what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to help people save money on social media. Like, I want to show them how to use social media so they save money. And he was like, no, we are two different markets. I said, what do you mean? We're talking, we both like social media. We're both doing social media. He was like, no. He said, you're talking to people who want to save money. I'm talking people who want to make money. Did you hear that difference? If I'm talking to people who want to save money, that's an altogether different audience than people who are focused on making money. And some of you, that buzzer is going off in your head and it's clicking with you. See, people that are interested in saving money, they're usually not going to look to invest. They're going to look to, how can I get it for the least amount of money? How can I do everything myself? How can I squeeze everything out of you so I don't have to pay you and then I can go do it myself? Because I'm trying to save money. Those are those people who you don't want, right? Now, people who are about making money, they understand that their time is precious. So they're not going to try to do everything themselves. They're not going to try to learn everything on their own because they realize that time is precious and time is money. So they're willing to invest in working with you because it's going to save them time that they could be using to make more money. So if you're using it in your language, if you're always talking about, oh, I'm going to show you how to save money, you could be repelling the very people who are willing to invest in you. They're not always about saving money. They're about saving time. Show me how to get the result faster, quicker, and I'm yours. So your language is tremendously important. That helps people disqualify themselves. That helps you pre-qualify people. You see how that works? That was number one. See, I told you were going to want to take notes. The second way to do this is to make people invest before they start talking to you. You're like, well, how do I do that? Right? You mean I get people to pay? Listen, what did I just say? Right? They want to save time. Time is a resource. Now here's the deal. I do discovery calls with people. They're called profit breakthrough calls. They're 45-minute sessions. They're free. Now, I'm investing that time in a call because I'm looking to bring on a new client. And the cost of that investment of that 45 minutes, it works for what people are investing to work with me. But here's the deal. I'm looking for people who are willing to put some skin in the game, so they've got to make an investment too. So we use a questionnaire. And for folks that are joining the Fast Track to 5-Figure Months, that's one of the things that we share with you is what are some of the questions that you want to ask so that you start pre-qualifying people, right? But we ask those questions, and those people who are not willing to invest time in answering the questions, they don't get to talk to me. I make that very clear. And I put it in the actual information when people are wanting to sign up. Listen, if you don't fill out the application, I'm going to ask you to reschedule. If I'm really busy, I'm just going to cancel you. Why? Because they've got to have some skin in the game. If you can't take the time to fill out 10 questions, actually, I don't even think it's 10 questions. I think it's like 6 questions and some multiple choices. If you can't take the time to fill that out, and 3 of those questions are like, what's your name, your website, and your email address, right? If you can't take the time to fill that out so that you can get on a 45-minute call with me where I'm going to talk to you about where you are, where you want to go, and help you get a strategy for making that happen, you are not my person. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to waste my time. That's one of the ways that you pre-qualify and disqualify people. Do you have that in place? Do you know what questions to ask? I can help you with that. Okay, what else do you want to tell them? So we're long past the days where, people are trying to sneak Oh, sorry, actually, that's my next one. I'm going to go to that one in a minute. I'm going to talk about sneaking things in. But you need to tell people. You need to tell them who the call is for. For example, if you only want to work with people who are high achievers, you need to say that in your marketing. If you only want to work with people who have been in business for 5 years, say that in your marketing. If you really, really have a desire to work with people that are newbies, then say that in your invitation. Don't leave them to figure that out on their own, only to get on a call and then be embarrassed because they're not your people. Right? So this leads me to another thing, and I promise I'm not going to get on my soapbox or go too much into my tangent with this, but here's the deal. You want to make sure that you are targeting your right audience. Do you know who your target audience is? Now, let me break that down for you. So we define your target audience, not the people that are always just coming up to you, right? Because just because people come to you doesn't mean that they can pay you. So you can't use that to define your target audience. Your target audience are people who are willing and able to pay you. And most people stop there, but we don't. Because there's one more thing that's super, super important. And I have learned this the hard way. They're willing to pay you, they're able to pay you, and they are action takers. If you start working with people who don't take action, they will be trying to blame you when they don't get results. And you're scratching your head thinking, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? You've got to have people that are willing to implement and be coachable and who are willing to listen to you. Do you know who that is for you? It's not the same for everybody, but do you know who that is? Okay? So, you got to tell them who your call is for, who your free consultation is for. If you leave that out, it's your fault when you get the wrong people on a call. The other thing you have to do is you want to tell them in advance and make sure that it's clear that they understand what's going to happen on the call. So I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. When I first started doing this, I used to try to sneak things in, right? I used to try to sneak things in. I used to think, okay, so I'm going to tell them it's a free call. And it's a free coaching session, and they're going to love me so much because I'm going to help them so much that they're going to see how valuable I am, and they're just going to want to work with me. So then when I talk to them about buying or investing, they're going to say yes. And plus, that way, I don't have to tell them up front, because if I tell them up front that there's going to be some kind of offer, they're going to say no, and then I'm not going to get the call. And that was my thinking. And I know I'm probably the only one that thought like that, wink, wink, right? But here's the deal. Here's what would happen. Two things happen. The first thing is that we would be into this coaching call and they would not be expecting it. So when it came time for me to actually make them an offer, I would freeze up and feel uncomfortable because then I felt out of integrity. Because they're loving this. They're thinking that it's a free call because that's what I told them. It's a free coaching call. I didn't tell them I was going to make them an offer. And so now when it's time for me to have that conversation, it feels like I'm sneaking it in. It feels like I'm, doing a bait and switch. And that felt so uncomfortable. That was really hard to have a true sales conversation and tell them about the investment to work with me and tell them about the program because I had all this guilt because I felt like I tricked people. That's not what we do. Right? But that's what happens when we try to sneak things in. The other thing that happens is this. Because we are sneaking it in and we didn't explain to them how this whole thing works, when they say no, we've wasted our time. So what's better? For you to tell them up front and them to say, no, that's not what I'm interested in, or for you to get really excited, go through your whole, conversation, make them your pitch, and then for them to say, no, that's not what I'm here for. And now you've wasted 30, 45 minutes of your time. All because you just really, really, really wanted to have a sales call. No, what you really, really want to do is serve the people that need your help. You want to serve the people that are willing and able to pay you. And once you begin to make that distinction, you will start seeing a change in the people who are coming to you. So you've got to be really clear. You have to be really intentional, right? So those are the things. That's how you pre-qualify people. Make sure you're choosing the right words. Tell them, what the session is all about and who it's for, and make them do some work. They've got to have some skin in the game. Now, I know I told you that, and it might sound a lot easier than it actually is to implement, and I know that. This is what, a 15-minute Facebook Live? You can't get everything here, but you can get more help from me. So I mentioned in the beginning that I've been doing this series because I am giving people a sample of what it's like and what we cover in Fast Track to 5-Figure Months. It's a 4-week coaching program where I am helping you figure out how do you raise your rates and attract higher paying clients. There's a sales page. I'm going to include the link here. You can take a look at it. We've got a limited number of spots, so I highly encourage you that if this is helping you, if these last 2 videos have helped you, and you would like some more help, you want to sign up for this. Now, if you're thinking about it, like I want to talk to you about it, hey, I'm totally fine with you getting on my calendar and, figuring out if this is a good fit for you. Just let me know that you want to talk. Send me a private message and we can talk about it. But the link to where you can register for this is going to be in the comments. It's going to be attached to this video. Take a look at it and see if it's a good fit for you. But I guarantee you, if you're struggling to raise your rates, if you're overworking, if you don't have the confidence to raise your rate because you don't know how to add value, if you're not sure how to attract higher paying clients, you don't even know where to start, you want to be part of this course. It's a live 4-week program with me, plus you get access to the course content. And I've got a couple of other bonuses that I'm throwing in there for you. One of the bonuses I forgot to mention yesterday. So next month, we're going to be opening up the Profit Academy, which is my year-long program. And so here's what happens. When you register for the Fast Track to 5-Figure Months, if you decide to join the Profit Academy, the investment that you made for the Fast Track program, it goes towards what we're doing in the Profit Academy. So there's a whole lot of good stuff available to you. And if you'd like my help, I would love to help you. So click the link, join Fast Track for 5-Figure, Fast Track for 5-Figure Months. I'm seeing some things popping up on the screen and it's fun. But Fast Track for 5-Figure Months, make sure you click the link, check it out, join it if you're interested, ask me a question. You can put it in the comments or you can send me a private message. And I hope that I see you on the inside. Now, tomorrow is the last little mini session that I'm going to be doing. And I've got some more tips for you about how you can really start to make sure that you're getting the right people. Okay? So this is all about you making sure that you're raising your rates and attracting higher paying clients. If you're in, I'm in it with you. All right, so that's it for today. Until next time, you know the deal. Be brilliant, be bankable, and be the boss in your business. Bye.